All right, let's dive into a really fascinating financial strategy. We're going to put ourselves in the shoes of a school district's board. The people who are always dealing with tight budgets and really tough choices. And we're going to walk through this briefing they received called the Frontline Advantage. It's designed to solve some of their biggest fiscal headaches.
So, right out of the gate, the presentation hits you with the central question. It's one of those questions that seems simple on the surface, but it's huge, right? How do you protect your main pot of money, the general fund, from all the daily pressures that are constantly trying to drain it dry? And not just someday, but starting today.
And this first section really digs into that core challenge. We're talking about operational strain. You can think of it as this constant, low-grade fever on the district's finances. It's the day-to-day pressure that makes every single decision, from hiring to buying supplies, so much harder. And this slide, well, it drives home exactly what's at stake. See, the general fund isn't just some line item on a spreadsheet. It's the engine that powers the entire educational mission. Every dollar is critical. When that fund is stretched thin, the stability of the whole district and the quality of education, it's all on the line. Okay, so after laying out the problem in no uncertain terms, the presentation makes a hard pivot. It starts talking about a solution, framing it as a strategic fiscal opportunity, basically an advantage that has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. And it all starts with this one number, 2%. That's it. It's a pretty compelling hook, you have to admit. It's designed to make the board lean in and ask, okay, 2% of what? Well, it turns out that 2% is the tiny fraction of organizations out there that have figured out how to tap into a little-known federal incentive. And the key here, as you can see, is that this isn't some vague feel-good program. It's designed to have a direct, measurable, and positive impact on those operational costs we were just talking about. And this is where we finally get the name, the Frontline Advantage Program. This is positioned as the key, the tool that unlocks those powerful federal workforce incentives and lets a school district like this one join that very exclusive 2% club. So what is this thing really? Well, the definition is right here. It's a program for staff resilience, giving them what are called proactive mental fitness tools. But honestly, for a board looking at a budget, the most important words on this entire slide are 100% federally subsidized and zero cost to the district. That is a game changer. So here's the nuts and bolts of how it works. The program taps into those federal incentives to give staff some really essential support. And because it's federally funded, it doesn't need its own line in the district budget. That's huge. The bottom line is, it builds a kind of financial firewall around the general fund. Of course, the moment you hear new program, you're probably thinking about the hidden cost, the paperwork, the headaches. The presentation gets right out in front of that. The promise is incredibly clear. Zero cost, and just as important, zero burden. And the magic word here is turnkey. What that means is the program is designed to run itself without adding a single thing to the plates of the district's already overworked staff. No extra workload for anyone in the district, period. And this is what turnkey looks like in the real world. You see these 4 steps? An external support team handles every single one of them. They do the communication, they handle all the employee signups, they manage the resources, and they provide all the tech support. The district staff doesn't have to lift a finger. So you might be asking, if the district's investment is zero, then what's the return? Well, according to this briefing, the payoff isn't just financial. It's something they're calling a return on district stability, a tangible ROI. Now this is where it gets really interesting. This slide literally draws a straight line from the district's biggest headaches, things like last-minute call-offs or staff burnout, directly to the program's benefits, like lower substitute costs and better attendance. It's making the case that supporting your staff isn't just a nice thing to do. It's a direct solution to some of your worst financial problems. So how do they get that return? The strategy is to support staff as whole humans. Through a simple mobile app, the program delivers coaching and content that focuses on the 3 areas that cause the most stress in real life for pretty much everyone: our families, our health, and our money. And this slide right here, this is the core argument of the entire briefing, all boiled down into one sentence. It's trying to get the board to stop thinking about mental fitness as just another wellness perk. Instead, they should see it as a core strategic investment that pays off in the operational stability of the entire district. Okay, so that brings us to the final act, the call to action. The presentation has laid out the problem, it's presented this really unique solution, and it's detailed the return on investment. Now it's time for a clear, formal recommendation to the board. And there's no beating around the bush here.
This part of the briefing is direct, it's formal, and it's all about moving from idea to action. Let's see exactly what they're asking for.
And here it is, about as simple as it gets. The proposition is a zero-cost, no-hassle program to protect the budget, and the action they're asking for is just as clear. Give the green light to engage the external team and get the Frontline Advantage up and running immediately.
The presentation ends with this really sharp, provocative question. It completely flips the script on risk. It's not asking, what's the risk of trying this? Instead, it's asking, look, if this provides major fiscal relief with absolutely no cost and no work for us, what's the real risk of doing nothing at all? It's a powerful way to frame the final decision and a really clever strategy for solving budget problems.